Hey, what's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel, Just Simply Sports here with me. I am Kaja. If you are new here, I want you to please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're not new, I appreciate you. Now, I would have loved to get this video out sooner, but your girl was on set today. Surprise, surprise. I cannot share what set I was on, but I'm excited to share it with you guys at a later date when I can. So just be on the lookout for it. Now, you guys, we have a huge matchup this weekend. We have a lot of huge matchups this weekend, but the biggest, in my personal and humble opinion, is that of Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. You guys, this one should be an exciting, thrilling, and highly competitive game. So I'm excited to see it. I'm a little bit sad because these are my two faves. So no matter who wins, one is going to be out, one's going to be in. So I'm already sad for one and happy for the other at the same time. It's crazy, right? But every year that Lamar doesn't get to the playoffs or he does get to the playoffs, there goes the conversation with the expectations if he happens to lose in the playoffs. So I'm going to play some of this and then I'm going to talk to you guys about it because I'm curious to hear or read what your thoughts are about Lamar. If he does not win against Josh, will it be a failed season? What do you think?
I believe it's a wasted season, 1,000% yes, not just if he loses, Chase, but to whom he loses and when he loses. Yeah. If Lamar Jackson were to lose in a Super Bowl, it's not a wasted season, big dog. You went to the Super Bowl. Only about 100, maybe 70 quarterbacks have ever gone to a Super Bowl. But if you lose in the divisional round to the quarterback who you're currently in competition with for being the second best quarterback in football, of course it's a wasted season. If you lose to Pat, we could suggest not a wasted season. You lose in the Super Bowl to Goff, Hurts, Stafford, not a wasted season. But if you lose in the...
Wait, hold on. How can we not... It's one thing with Patrick Mahomes, right? Because obviously he's a standard. They're going for the three-peat. I get it, right? He's already won multiple championships, multiple MVPs, just like Lamar. Okay, I get that part. But really? We're going to say it's not a waste if he loses to Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, as loaded as his team is. We're going to give him a pass if he loses to them. That doesn't make sense to me, you guys. Maybe it's just me.
Divisional round? The divisional round? To Josh Allen? The person who everybody said you had a better year than this season? Complete, utter waste of a season.
I think two things can be true. I think personally that there's no way this season could be wasted when you just look at the numbers and the stats that he has, right? 5,000 total yards, 45 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, 12-5 record. And this season for him was historical for a lot of different reasons. He's the first player in NFL history with 40-plus passing touchdowns, fewer than 5 picks. He's also the first player in NFL history with 4,000 passing yards and 800-plus rushing yards. So when you look at it from a season, it's one of the greatest seasons, if not the greatest seasons he's ever had.
Yeah, of course.
Like no doubt about it. But I do think that you will, if he loses, you have to call in his playoff legacy. And that's what will be in question.
And all those things is the reason why the season will be wasted. Lamar Jackson is in the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allen. I would even put Joe Burrow in there because Joe Burrow has been to a Super Bowl. And it's Lamar Jackson, in my humble opinion, that from here on out, every year's wasted if you don't get to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying you have to win it, but every year's wasted. I played with Aaron Rodgers, won a lot of MVPs. All them years but one is wasted, dog. We had an opportunity to go win a Super Bowl, and we didn't. Don't nobody care nothing about your stats. You are walking into the Hall of Fame today. If Lamar Jackson came up there in his next press conference and said, hey, man, I'm done, dog. I told Harbaugh, talked to Harbaugh, I'm done. 5 years later, he's walking into the Hall of Fame. Yep. The only thing left to accomplish for Lamar Jackson is getting to a Super Bowl. Exactly what Chase just said. If Lamar loses, what we gonna say? Man, he 3-5. We ain't going to talk about none of his MVPs. We ain't going to talk about these numbers and the special year Lamar had. We going to dog him on TV. We going to say he can't win in the playoffs. We going to say Josh beat him with less. We going to say all these things about Lamar Jackson. We going to say maybe a running quarterback can't get you to the Super Bowl. Maybe that's the things we're going to say.
With greatness comes expectations. Be it fair or be it not, it is the reality of the situation. So A lot of people are going to look at Lamar not winning this game or not winning the next game after as a wasted season because by all accounts, you have 9 Pro Bowlers. You have had the most historic season in arguably NFL history at the quarterback position. All the yards, all the touchdowns, the rushing touchdowns. The expectation is that you have the best roster that you've ever had. And if you don't win, what's the excuse? If you don't win now, then when are you going to win? Because every year you exceed what we think. We see more and more from you. I have no idea what Lamar's ceiling is, you guys, just as a fan. You know what I mean? But because people feel like that, they automatically assume, or they're going to feel like if he does not have success this postseason, especially be it this weekend against a Bills team that is not as strong talent wise, they're going to feel like it's a wasted season. People are going to feel like that. Now, I'm going to point out something, and I think it's important because people, I think, fans, analysts, sometimes people forget that Lamar is a human being. Why do I say that? I think people forget that because you are a professional athlete and you make millions, a multi-million-dollar, player, people, I think, forget that at your core, you are still a human being. Why am I saying that? I feel like, although Lamar says, I'm just trying to win, I don't care if people feel, I don't believe that. I don't. I feel like we all read comments on Instagram. We all see the shows. People are always talking about Lamar, especially, as the season went on and he was looking better and better and better and better and breaking record after record after record. People and expectations for him and what he can or what he should accomplish this season, they've got higher and higher and higher. And you hear it. You know what I mean? You definitely hear it. He may not necessarily look on Instagram, but I'm sure your mom saw it. I'm sure you have friends that tell you, girlfriend, dad, fellow teammates, you know what I mean? Like, you hear these things. You hear it. And I think there's always a part of him in the back of his mind that feels like when he gets to these big moments, he has to prove that he's more than just a running quarterback. If you go back to last season, right, in the playoffs when they played the Kansas City Chiefs, I was so mad as a fan watching that game. I'm like literally screaming at the TV like, Lamar, run, extend the play, be you. I'm like, for the life of me, even thinking back, I'm like, I wonder what would have happened if the Baltimore Ravens had stuck to what they were so good at. Like, stick to the Baltimore Ravens brand of football. I feel like they got there in the second half. They decided to kind of switch to the Chiefs brand of football. Why? Why? This is a whole different team, whole different coaching staff, entirely different quarterback. You're not Patrick Mahomes. You are Lamar Action Jackson. Bring that to the football field. I feel like, and I still believe this in my heart, if he had showed up like Lamar with all his greatness, with what he's good at, and not tried to get into a shooting match, so to speak, with Patrick Mahomes, if the coaching staff didn't go with the whole, as opposed to playing their style of football, they allowed the Chiefs to dictate how they were going to play the second half of the game. That to me, I'm like, come on. And I really feel like if they had stuck to their brand of playing football, it would have been a different outcome. I guess we'll never know, but that's how I feel about it. So I feel like there's always a part of him that believes that he needs to show people that they were wrong about him, that he was right to be a quarterback, that he's more than a running quarterback, and I feel like that's why in the postseason, he hasn't shown up the same way that he has in the regular season. You know what I mean? I will say this season, obviously, he does look different, but I feel like every season he looks different. Like I said, every season I see growth from him. So I have no idea what his ceiling is, but I do know that if he does not win this game, and more importantly, if he doesn't look how he's looked throughout the season, If for whatever reason he just happens to not have his best game, like James said, they are going to be killing Lamar next week, week after that, week after that. You're in the off season, beginning of next season, you know what I mean? So it may not be fair, but it's the reality of the situation. And when you are great, those kind of expectations come with it. You know, people don't expect you to win, they don't expect you to be great, they don't really think that you're talented. You know what I mean? So it's people are recognizing how awesome Lamar is. You know what I mean? That's the great part about it. But the reality of it is that he's still so young. He's in his prime. He has so much more football left to play, obviously, if he stays healthy. So if he doesn't win this season, there's next season after that. He doesn't have to win this season. Would it be great if he did? Absolutely. If he did it in a season where he had a historic season, even better. If he wins MV3 and a historic season and the Lombardi Trophy, even better, right? But if you are Lamar Jackson fans, let me ask you guys, why do you think it's important for him to win Super Bowl? I'm gonna tell you guys my reason. For me, I think about legacy, right? And I feel like the legacy of Lamar Jackson is more about off of the field than on the field. Why? Because there are so many young athletes that are looking up to him that may not necessarily have the arm strength, or they may not have the IQ that he has. Should I say that the Patrick Mahomes may have, or the arm talent of a Joe Burrow, right? But they have they're able to run with the ball. They see themselves in Lamar Jackson. They feel like I look like him. I can be like him. He runs with the football. I can do that, Mom. I can be him. So for me, without getting too wordy, him holding up that Lombardi Trophy in the season, for me, will show that number one, it will have completely changed how we look at quarterbacks. We look at it differently now anyway. Now, if you ask me, you are not going to have success in the NFL without a dual quarterback. It's just not going to happen. But when you have someone like Lamar, and I love watching him play because to me, he's fast, but he's sly, you know what I mean? He's sly, he buys time, he's clever, he's in, he's out, he's this way, he's that way. To me, I love it. I don't want to see anybody just standing there throwing the ball. That's just my personal opinion. Unless you're Joe Burrow and you're just like, damn, how did he make that throw? You know what I mean? But for me, I want to see someone move. I want to see explosive offense. I want to see someone be creative, versatile, think outside the box. You know what I mean? Do something different. I want to see somebody flip into the end zone. You know what I mean? That's just me. So I love watching a player like Lamar or Josh Allen who are so dynamic and have so many levels. You know, when they're playing, when they're playing football. My personal opinion, guys. Again, you can feel differently, but when it comes to legacy, I think it's always more important for your brand of football off the field more so than on. If he wins in terms of holding a trophy on the field, he's not going to be the first quarterback to win, right? Obviously, there's one that wins every season, there's one team that wins every season. But for me, the fact that he was told he shouldn't play, quarterback, he should switch his position, all these different things, right? They didn't want to pay him his money. It's a lot that he's been through, a lot of naysayers, a lot of conversation, a lot of he can't do it, will he do it? Maybe he can, maybe he can't, all these different things. You're looking at how they draft quarterbacks now. I guarantee you, and this is my personal opinion, now everyone that gets a quarterback now will have to have somebody who's a dual threat. You will start seeing, you see it already now, but when he actually wins, and I believe one day he will, when he actually wins and holds that trophy up, it will set a new precedent for how quarterbacks are drafted, how plays are designed, and all these different things. There's so much that comes with it because right now the jury's still out. You know that you have to have a dual quarterback to win. At least I believe so. But you haven't seen one like Lamar win at the highest level. Obviously, Patrick runs, but he doesn't run like Lamar. He just doesn't. You know what I mean? That's no shade to him. I'm not saying he's not talented or he's less talented. I'm just saying he doesn't do it like Lamar. You know what I mean? So when he wins it, holding it up, for me, it changes that. It changes, it inspires the ones looking up to him right now who can be watching this game on Sunday. Like, Mom, that's me. I can do it. So on and so forth. You know what I mean? What Lamar needs to do this weekend to win, for me, is just be Lamar. Do not get into a situation where you feel like you need to change who you are to beat Josh Allen, because they're similar in certain regards and obviously different in others. But they both run. They both can throw the football, right? But Josh is Josh. Lamar is Lamar. I feel like for Lamar to have success, the Ravens to have success, Lamar just needs to run the football and just stick to who he is, nothing else. And I think if they do that, by all accounts, and I love Josh Allen, but I got to be honest, they have a stronger team. So by all accounts, they should win. For the Bills to win, God bless Josh's heart. He's going to have to have a perfect game. He cannot turn the ball over. You do not want to give any opportunities to this highly motivated Baltimore Ravens team. No extra opportunities. I feel like defense for the Ravens is obviously better than the Bills defense. Obviously, they have more meat and potato bones on that side. A lot of small men on the Buffalo Bills side when it comes to defense. So trying to contain Derrick Henry and Lamar, good freaking luck with that. You know what I mean? But I will say, good defense, they're going to have a better offense for the Bills. Meaning, they're going to have to use and abuse that clock like they did playing the Denver Broncos. Extend plays. You're going to have to extend drives. You're going to have to find a way to make sure that you're getting touchdowns each time, not field goals. You're going to need touchdowns. Why? Because every time that the Ravens come on the field with Lamar, the offense comes on the field, more times than not, I believe they're going to score. That's what I personally believe. You want to limit the amount of time that the Ravens have on the field. That's my personal opinion. We'll have to wait and see what their whole game plan is, but you want to limit their time. This offense is so dynamic, you guys. They just have so many playmakers. They just have so much talent. You know what I mean? And it's led by Lamar, who's phenomenal. I mean, come on, who are we kidding, right? If the Bills want to win, they're going to have to, like I said, misuse that clock and abuse it and keep the Ravens on the sideline as much as possible to limit their opportunities for success and make sure they're extending their plays and that when they get that ball down in the end zone, more times than not, they are getting a touchdown. You got to watch the penalties too. Those penalties, they be adding up. 5-yard penalty, 10-yard penalty, you know what I mean? Like going back after you go forward, all those different things, you know what I mean? But you guys, I'm curious to hear or read your thoughts. Do you think that Lamar will have a wasted season if he loses? Or you don't feel that way? Either way, I want to know, and I want to see in the comments. Also, what do you think the key to success will be for the Ravens to win and for the Bills to pull off an upset and beat the Ravens this Sunday? Let me know in the comments, and of course, I'll see you in the next video.